Hi there, welcome to I Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Scorpio energy, and we're going to read it from a couple different perspectives because it's not a personal reading. I don't know anything about your life, and people have free will. Some people are going to harness high vibe Scorpio energy, some people harness a more worldly or shadowy Scorpio energy. So let's go look. I have another tarot channel called Tarot Land Soap Opera, and I just did the Scorpio reading, and I'm pretty sure this was the main foundational reason for the reading for them. Oh, well, yours is a strength card, but behind that is the first chakra, which does talk about kind of like the core foundation that we operate from. What is our truth at a core foundational level? We're all probably going to be motivated and inspired. The strength card is Leo energy, which talks about what we're motivated and inspired by based on what our truth is at a core foundational level. For some people, it's about ego and image and themselves and indulging their more immature worldly nature. For other people, they've tempered their more immature worldly nature. They've tempered their beastly nature, and that's the core foundation they operate from. And they are going to move forward. The different types of people are going to move forward based on that core foundation that they have. And there's people in our life who want to be in a relationship with us because that's the core foundation they operate from. So what's going on in Scorpio energy? We have 3 cards not showing themselves, and the reason they came out is because of the 6th chakra, which can be like your intuition or how you use your mind. You know, we all know there's scammers in the world, right? They have some of the same talent, skills, interests, all the things that high vibe people have. But some people use those traits and characteristics and their intuition in a shadowy way. How can I manipulate someone to move forward with me in a relationship? It would be good for my ego and my image and my status, or they're maybe a loving person, and it would be great to be in a relationship with a loving person because they're loving and nurturing and supportive. So sometimes shadowy people try to figure out who is a loving person. But the first card out over here is the financial constraints card, which can be like the 5 of Pentacles card. Who feels left out in the cold? Is there a loving person that has been left out in the cold by someone? Those people had to detach from someone who is looking to get in a new relationship. Can I try to use my intuition in a shadowy way and my intellect and my voice and my words and my charm and my charisma to try to make them think I'm on the same page as them so that they'll move forward in a relationship with me? Some shadowy people just want to be in a relationship with other people that are operating from their fear, their insecurity, their pride, their ego, because that's the page that they're on. We all like to hang out with people who are on the same page as us. So they also might try to get in a relationship with some people who have the 5 of Pentacles, can refer to a lack mentality. Or do you also align with your more worldly, egoic view of life? Are you more about the world and your ego and your image or indulgent nature? If so, we're on the same page and I want to be in a relationship with you. High vibe people have dealt with people who are like this, and they're listening to their intuition because they don't want to get back in a relationship with someone who's like that. Someone who's manipulative, someone who operates from a more worldly view of life or egoic or self-focused view of life. You know, our shadow nature is our more immature, indulgent, prideful, egotistical, defensive, selfish, greedy, prideful, envious, nature. High vibe people have already dealt with some people who are like that, and they're listening to their intuition about those kind of people. Who are the people who have tempered their ego, who have detached from their more worldly nature, who are operating from foundation of truth and love, motivated by truth and love, and who is motivated more by indulgence in some way? And then we have these 3 cards not showing themselves. There's some people that are shadowy that would like to be in a relationship with the high vibe people. But the high vibe people, they're not really sure what's going on with them. They can't figure it out. We've all lived life. We've all been caught up in the things of the world. We've all been immature and impulsive and et cetera, right? Some people are wondering if you're that same type of person or not. Are you the person like you were before? Or I've maybe watched you in other relationships. Are you that same type of person? Or have you grown and healed and matured yourself, kind of? Have you learned to love yourself? Or can I be the next person to manipulate you? Other people are thinking you are on the same page as them in hope and faith and belief and love. The high vibe people are going to listen to their intuition about you. The truth is, the high vibe people aren't aligning with these energies in a more worldly, shadowy way anymore. Some people don't know that. So there's some shadowy people that will think you feel left out in the cold and that maybe they can manipulate you. But you're harnessing these energies in a high vibe way, and the shadowy people are hiding that they harness them in a shadowy way, and they don't want people to know that. Blossoming abundance, magician in the mirror, and the fourth chakra, the heart. What some people are intuiting about you is that you did listen to your intuition to get over your illusions about life and your more worldly nature and other people who were more worldly, ego-focused, and that you're being truthful and honest and authentic and loving. Previously, you could have been caught up in the illusion of the world, and you could have loved those things of the world, and you could have thought, indulging in whatever it was you were indulging in, even relationships, that you thought those were the things that were going to make you happy. But we all have lessons to learn, and if we haven't learned to temper our own fears and our insecurities and love ourselves, at a core foundational level, we still have some lessons to learn. So you could have gotten caught up in the illusion of the world, and maybe your more loving nature was kind of clouding your judgment, and you could have let your heart run your life in a way where it tipped your life out of balance. Because high vibe energy is about having learned these lessons where you realize, I have my heart, my mind, my worldly nature, my creative, inspired, intuitive nature. All of them are important. My heart is important. My loving nature is important. But truth is important. Being stable and grounded and growing and maturing myself is important too. Learning how to love myself is important. Listening to my intuition is important. How many times do we get in a relationship and we got caught up in an illusion of something we thought would be abundant, and we enjoyed doing it, or we loved those people, and it wasn't what we thought it was? Part of it could have been because we had lessons to learn about listening to our intuition. Our intuition could have been screaming in our face back then. But in our worldly nature of kind of pride and ego, we want to go indulge what we want to go indulge in, and so we did. And then those things, left us out in the cold. They weren't the answer. The answer lies within us, learning to love and believe in ourselves, giving ourselves the things that we wish other people would have given us, so that we are operating from a very stable, grounded, creative, inspired, loving, authentic nature, not out of our fear and our insecurity and our codependency. So, the high vibe people have learned to no longer to listen to their intuition about people and how their own shadow nature can try to manipulate them. Well, I want these things at a core foundational level. I want these things in the world. I want to be victorious. I want to be successful. I want to be in these relationships. I want to have these jobs, etc., etc. But high vibe people have learned to listen to their intuition, because if they don't, your intuition was given to you as a gift. to help you navigate in this world. Because we do live in this world of duality where people can present themselves as being like this just and fair and stable and grounded and loving person, but they're not. And we had our more immature nature where even when our intuition was telling us we shouldn't go do that, we went and did it anyway. You know, we all got to learn lessons in life. High vibe people are listening to their intuition instead of their more worldly, egoic nature. And they have learned to believe in themselves, that they have the resources to manifest their dreams into reality. And they're letting love and intuition and self-love of self and their dreams to navigate in this world and the decisions that they make. And there's some other people in the world who reject that and who are about still caught up in the illusion of the world and these things that they love because, you know, life's about learning lessons, and some people have learned some more lessons than other people. Some people are still operating from their more egoic nature. They're more all about me nature, looking for other people to love them at a core foundational level because they haven't learned to love themselves. And I think we will be drawn and attracted to people in the world because we have lessons learned from them. If we haven't learned to love ourselves, we're probably going to be drawn and attracted to some people who are happy we haven't learned to love ourselves. Are we going to keep staying in relationship with those people, even though we could feel like they're manipulating us, more about ego and image, more about themselves? And it was for us to get clear about what our truth is. What is my truth? Am I willing to listen to my intuition? I could love people. I could want this to be victorious and successful. But once I got in it, if my intuition is telling me if I keep moving forward in this relationship, I might be in a relationship with someone who doesn't operate from the same foundation as I do. I might be more motivated by truth and love and wanting to be in deep, meaningful relationships, because that's high vibe Scorpio. I want to go on this adventure in life. I'm in this emotionally complex human being. I want to be in these deep, meaningful relationships. That's what I view at a core foundational level as being victorious. And then the strength card being like Leo energy is to be authentic and warm and loving and encouraging. But if we're operating from a more worldly egoic view, then our philosophy of life could be more about the ego and the image, or just wanting to be in a relationship for the stability or the security, or just to be in a relationship so we feel loved. But if we keep moving forward with people who aren't motivated and inspired to be in deep, meaningful relationships, we might look like we're moving forward victoriously, but we kind of feel left out in the cold. Am I going to keep moving forward with people who are like that? Some of the high vibe people have already been in that situation, and they decided, the financial constraints card being like the Five of Pentacles, which is Taurus energy, which has to do with our philosophy of life, realized that they were in relationships with people where their philosophy of life was different. The high vibe people do want to keep moving forward in life, kind of like tempering their fears and insecurities that we go through a phase of life. We're meant to learn lessons at that phase of life. And then to grow to our full potential, we have to face our fears and love ourselves, to maintain balance within ourselves with the Justice card, to keep believing in ourselves, to kind of go to the next phase of life where it's not about, I have learned to love myself in the first chakra, and then here we have the second chakra. I have met my most basic needs. I'm still not looking outside of myself for someone to provide the foundation that I build my life upon. I have seen the truth that I need to build that foundation that I build my life upon. I need to learn to love myself, offer myself love and encouragement and compassion and forgiveness for the mistakes I've made. offer love and compassion and forgiveness to the people in my past who maybe hadn't learned some lessons about being more loving. And I offer myself those things so that I can be free to go to the next stage of life where now that I've learned to meet my most basic needs in that regard, now I'm ready to work together with other people in a foundation, with other people who know how to meet their own most basic needs of like loving themselves. Because if there's some people in the world who have a lack mentality and they haven't learned to love themselves, they want to be in relationships with people and they want those people like to love them. Like that is the answer to their problems. But that doesn't resolve their problems. If they have fear and insecurity or pride or ego or self-centeredness or immature, lusty, greedy energy, they might want to be in a relationship. It's nice to be in a relationship. It's good for their ego and their image, but they still have these issues within themselves that they haven't dealt with. And then they could look to other people like, you're supposed to be the answer to my problems, and if my problems bubble up again, well then you must not be the person for me, and I think it's just unfair to go find someone else to go work with because you didn't solve my problems. And it's like some people look to other people to get in a relationship to be the answer to their problems. Like some people could get caught up thinking drugs or booze or gambling or having money is going to be the answer to their problems. And it becomes like an addiction. Enough is never enough. And for some people, they are very prideful and egotistical. Some of these people could have gotten in relationships with loving people that were just and fair and loving that they could have moved forward with. But because at a core foundational level, they operate more from their ego, well, you're not giving me enough attention. I need all those people to give me attention. I want more status, more ego, more image, more money. And, they think it's just and fair to be that way. Everybody justifies how they live their life. And some of those people could have thought, well, I don't know if we'll have enough status or image or money if I stay in a relationship with you, even though I might love you, even though it's a balanced relationship, it seems just and fair, you're nurturing, you're loving, you're supportive. Some people have some lessons to learn. They could have thought, no, I don't know, kind of like a social climber. Maybe I can go find someone else who I'd have more money, more status, more image, or because someone I did want to be in a relationship with moved on, well, now because I feel left out in the cold and I'm operating from ego, I'm going to try to get in a relationship with someone else, but they really haven't healed and moved on. And then they get in those relationships with new people, and the new people want a dream to come into reality. And these people are like, well, no, I just want to stay here. The garden and the gate can talk about, I don't want to go out there. I just want to do this. Like, I still have healing to do or something. And I don't know if I want to take the relationship any further. I could have just been in my ego and felt left out in the cold. And I thought it was just unfair to get in a relationship with one of my options and work together with them because I need to heal. I need a relationship to rest within. And then the people that they're in relationship are wondering if this relationship's going to move forward. And that's then when they can see kind of their intuition is telling them, I don't think this relationship's going to move forward. I think this person really wasn't kind of like telling the truth. That they have some unresolved issues from someone in their past. Or past pain and heartbreak that they haven't dealt with. And if they don't deal with that, this relationship isn't going to move forward. And just like you have been in relationships with people like that, other people are getting in relationships with people like that. The people that are in those type of relationships listen to their intuition. Though they could have love for some people, if those people are more about shadowy energy, can be like, I'm operating from my shadowy nature. Therefore, in shadowy Leo energy, I might be more about trying to manipulate people to move forward with me and stay in a relationship with me, instead of tempering my fears and my insecurities to be more authentic and loving and just and fair. I just want to keep moving forward with you in a relationship. And I kind of want you to indulge me in my shadow nature. You be how you are, but I want to be how I am. And then you're not going to get this equal give and take, authentic, warm, loving relationship, because someone's still operating from their emotionally defensive nature or how they view relationships, you know, and maybe staying in a relationship from a more codependent energy or something. So some high vibe people listen to their intuition, and their intuition tells them that if I keep staying in this, because this person, if they haven't freed themselves from the things that manipulate them to be more on the same page as me, to be more authentic and warm and loving and free themselves from those things that manipulate them, I'm always going to kind of feel left out in the cold in a relationship with them. They might present themselves with the man holding heart, doesn't matter if they're male or female. We all take action in the world in masculine energy, but what is the truth emotionally of how we think and feel? We can be in relationships with people who present themselves and act kind of in loving ways towards us, and when we go out in the world, they act like this loving family person, but we could know that they're kind of either, well, it's just like a false persona. It's not operating from their more egoic nature running their life than their more authentic, loving nature running their life. And we want a just and fair relationship. And we listen to our intuition about it. We'd like those relationships to move forward in this more abundant way, where people do this work within themselves to feel stable and abundant and emotionally grow and mature themselves, so they are willing to step out of their comfort zone, that together we can move forward and give birth to something new. That's life-giving energy. We keep giving birth to new things. I was 15. Great to be a 15-year-old. Now I'm ready to be more like an 18-year-old. I let go of some of my more immature ways of life, viewing relationships. I take the good things I learned from that age period and period of life to go to the next phase of life. I temper my fears and insecurities. I detach from an old way of living life to offer myself love, to maintain balance within myself, to believe in myself, and I go to the next phase of life. I keep becoming all that I can be in life. And some people don't want to do that. If they get to a certain stage of life, like you can know people who they just want a job. They get a job, you know, people are working with them. You know, you like people who know, learn things over time, and that maybe over time they could kind of train someone else in that job, and then because they've worked there for a while and they know these things, that maybe slowly over time they take on some more responsibilities. And some people are like, well, no, I don't want to do that. I just want this job. And then some people can be like that in relationships. I just want to be in a relationship. It's like, well, what about growing and maturing yourself and healing? Well, no, I just want to be in a relationship. It's like, okay. And then some people are like, I just want to be married. And then they get married. It's like, what about healing and growing and maturing yourself? Well, we're in this, so this relationship continues to grow and mature over time. Well, no, I just wanted to be married. I just wanted those things of the world like other people have, and that was my end goal. So it's kind of like non-life-giving energy. There's nothing going to grow and heal and mature over time, because they're not going to heal or grow or mature over time. Because in their ego, they might have some issues they need to deal with, but they've decided, no, I'm not going to deal with those things. I'm just going to present myself as like this loving family person to people in my life and people in my world, and I'm just going to drag that baggage with me. That's what they've decided is just and fair. The only thing is, it affects how they act in a relationship, how they act when they work together with others, and they're unwilling to step out of their comfort zone. No, 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 that's scary. No, haven't been there before. No, I want to do things the way I've done it because this is the way I know how to do it. This is my comfort zone. I want to stay right here. You know, and other people go with the flow and they grow and mature and learn lessons over time. And they're ready to go to like the next phase of life and step out of their comfort zone to become all they can be, being more authentically themselves, shedding some of their baggage. I want to feel more at peace and balance within myself. I don't want to drag the fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs I might have had when I came in this relationship. You know, as time goes by, you accumulate more. That's part of life. As you live life, it challenges us in our more worldly nature. Things bubble up, more fears, more insecurities. I don't want to keep carrying this baggage with me. I want to work through it. I want to offer love to it, to feel more balance within myself. Because if I don't keep facing my fears and insecurities and healing and growing, it tips me more and more out of balance. I want to feel at peace within myself. I want to feel proud of myself. I want to feel confident within myself. And so then they do this work within themselves, and that kind of opens up in the, what's that card? Adjacent possibilities. You know, we can only view life the way we view it at any given moment in time. The way we viewed life and what we thought was possible at 15 can be much different than how we viewed life and what we thought was possible when we're 25. But the thing is, we're supposed to go through this throughout our life. Keep loving and believing in ourselves. We all have unique talents, skills, and interests, and sometimes we don't even know that at a core foundational level, maybe kind of even what our calling in life is. You know, some people don't even pick up a paintbrush till they're 35, or an accident happens. I just watched a movie about this man who had to paint with his foot because he was pretty much paralyzed all over. And then here he can do this amazing artwork, you know, and sometimes we don't even know what our unique talents, gifts, and skills are. And when we start to expand the way we view the world and kind of what we believe is possible, and we've done this work to be more confident or bold and brave within ourselves, or just becoming more authentically ourselves, you know, we are different. Sometimes some people move to like the next level of life. You could look at life as a video game, that you live your life at a certain phase of life, you overcome all the obstacles, and then you go to the next phase of life. But some people don't want to. I want to stay on this level. I know how to do this. I can whip through this in no time. I know where all the pitfalls are. I don't want to go to the next level because then I don't know that. There is new things, and it would... I don't know if I'd be successful. Some people don't even want to go to the next level of life and do things any differently because it would require them, in their fire nature, to take more creative, inspired action and incorporate that kind of into their philosophy of life. And their philosophy of life is, I only do what I think I can do and what I think I'll be victorious at. Well, life is about going through different doors, you know, and finding out, oh, no, that wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And you keep, you know, how many times did it take to make the light bulb, you know? Thank goodness they didn't give up and get in their ego and say, oh, well, that didn't work. I'm done. I'm giving up on light bulbs. You know, I'm glad we have light bulbs. I'm glad we have airplanes, cell phones, indoor plumbing, and heart surgery. You know, but there is just some people in the world who it's like, nope. I think it's just and fair, with the scales of justice here, I think it's just and fair to live my life like this. I don't want to even look at any other way of looking at life. I don't want to go to the next level of life. I know how to work my life right here. I know when to take care of things, when to invest in things, what to pay attention to. And I don't know that I can take it out there in the world and have success. Just like somebody who could be really good at a job, but they're so afraid of taking their skills that they know to another job, where other people might, I've learned some lessons here. There could be some things that I don't like about this job. There's no room for advancement. There's no growth. There might be a lot of things I do like about it that could make me kind of have maybe this inner conflict within myself about leaving. But then it's like, what's it hurt to go find out to a degree if it's a job? For people who are in a loving relationship, we can all be tempted by things. Some of the people that are in loving relationships right now, they're not going to check out their options because they're already moving forward with loving people. They might know some people that they could be tempted by, who maybe they even view as very loving people. But if they're already moving forward with people who are willing to work together with them in this just and fair manner, so long as they feel those people are moving forward with them in this way and this relationship is going to keep growing and maturing over time, they would stay in that relationship. Now, there could be other people that are kind of in a mismatched relationship, and they could be feeling a little left out in the cold in the relationship because they're realizing they are kind of in a mismatched relationship. And if they keep moving forward with those people, they might be tempted to move forward with those people anyway because there is maybe a lot of good things about it. By worldly standards, it looks good. The other person might want to stay in a relationship with them. But if they know it's not aligned with their truth and that really they are someone who's more motivated and inspired by love, and maybe the other relationship might be more about the ego or the image and the status, and it looks great in a lot of ways. If those people listen to their intuition, it's an injustice to kind of be in a relationship with someone where you know that your truth is different. Why you stay in it is different, because we'd assume people are in the relationship because they're on the same page as us. But if we know we're not on the same page as someone and what kind of drives and motivates us, somebody could always kind of have this inner conflict within themselves. And I would think some of those people are doing this work within themselves to work through their fears and insecurities about why they would be tempted to keep moving forward, living their life a certain way, and then the people that they hang out with and associate themselves with. Why would I keep moving forward with those people when that's not really my truth? And then they have to work through this issue within themselves. Why am I, if I believe that I am this loving, nurturing person, and I might be in relationships with people who, I just don't feel like they're kind of on the same page as me, where I feel like I could be the loving, nurturing person, and the other people, if you're not aligned with truth and love, you're kind of indulging in a relationship. Why don't I believe that I can take this outside of this relationship? And the whole thing is, do we want to just live our authentic life? And, why do we make it so important if I'm going to find another relationship or not? Is that us and our ego? Does that define our worth and value? We're these creative, inspired people who have all these different things in life to enjoy and invest our life force energy into, other than being in a sexual relationship. We need to get clear about our core foundation. Then the second level is kind of working together with others. And if at a core foundational level, we don't feel like just basic needs of love and respect and people acting with character and integrity, if we're stable within ourselves and we love ourselves, are we working with other people who operate from that same foundation? Or are we going to stay in something, kind of in a way it might look great, but we feel a little imprisoned by it because we weren't willing to face our fears, to go out there and with the butterflies kind of transform our life. Do we want to stay in a gilded cage? If we're in a mismatch relationship, the other people are hiding that they're happy that the loving people don't love and believe in themselves. Perfect. Keep moving forward with me. I think this is just and fair. You stay right here with me because that's where I'm going to stay. This looks good. You should stay here. You don't know if you'd find another relationship, and if that gets you up in your ego, then I'm willing to stay in a relationship with you because it works for me. I'm not like you. I'm not very loving or giving or warm. I might kind of present myself as loving because I want this and I think that's just and fair and you should be happy with that. You know? So I think people are thinking about those things. Are the people I am in relationship with, are we on the same page? Are we not? Are some of the people that I might want to be in a relationship with, are they on the same page as me or are they not? We've probably already detached from some people in our life who we knew weren't on the same page as us. We could have offered love to some other people in the world who we thought are on the same page as us. If some of those people aren't taking action, because the masculine figures can represent people taking action, whether they're male or female, if they are not taking action to bring justice to the situation, speak their truth, act in love, if they're not doing that, and I'm doing this work within myself, then I'm going to go find the people in the world and I'm going to go step out of my comfort zone. You know, we can make offers to people and then we're kind of waiting to see what decision they're going to make. But there comes a point in time we can't. Life-giving energy is about giving birth to something new. And when other people aren't doing the work to work with us in it, then we have to assume that maybe, you know, they're not on the same page as us. And they might want us staying stuck there to keep us as an option. And it's like, no, I have a dream I want to bring into reality. I make my offers to people I meet in the world to who wants to move forward with me. And now the high vibe people are at that stage to move forward in life with the people that are in their life working together with them. And the people who didn't they're assuming, you know, you're either moving forward with other people and living your life either happily or unhappily, or high vibe or low vibe, but you're not putting in work and effort with me. And I can only move forward with the people who are willing to put in work and effort with me. And I'm only going to work with people who are being authentic and loving and warm. And we probably all have some people in our life, even if it's not a romantic interest, we probably have some friends or family member or coworkers who are on the same page as us. And there will be some people moving forward with you, some people won't. And the whole thing is, high vibe people are moving forward with the people who are willing to speak truth, act in truth, offer love. And the people who don't, they're going to move forward with the people in their life who are acting in that way. So I think high vibe people are getting ready to go to the next phase of life. The third chakra, life force energy, giving birth maybe to something new. What's coming up for the high vibe people that they don't see coming, might not see coming, has to do with this card. And the reason it came out is because of the Queen of Swords. You have a dream. And if people aren't on the same page as you, then we see the truth of that. If they're wanting to have a different dream, be in relationships with other people, do whatever they do, I just see the truth of it. And, you know, we can feel betrayed. That's what the Queen of Swords talks about emotionally. That some people in our life aren't working together with us in this just and fair and loving way. It's like, well, I see the truth of it. And I'm going to distance myself from you. If you're my family member, my adult child, a friend, a romantic interest, if you're not moving forward with me in a loving, just and fair, tempered, balanced, authentic way, then I just see the truth. You're not on the same page. Or you are in that type of relationship with someone else and I see the truth of it. Either way, I'm going to look at life from a higher perspective and keep having hope and faith and belief in my dreams. So what is this card? Five of Pentacles, which is like the financial constraints card. You know, initially we can distance ourselves from people, but then it can take time to kind of more emotionally detach from people. And we have to work through these conflicting feelings that we have because we are these emotionally complex human beings. And we had viewed people a certain way. We thought they'd be just and fair. We thought they would act with character and integrity. We thought they were a more maybe loving person than they were. And we have to be willing to go through this period of feeling left out in the cold. And that's one reason why some people aren't willing to move forward with people. Because there's some things in their life that they would have to detach from that make them feel maybe safe or secure or stable or grounded, or a way of viewing life, or other people in their life that they're codependent on. And they're not willing to detach from those things. They're still manipulated by some things that they love. Maybe living more from their mind than their heart at a core foundational level. And you know, they're not willing to detach from those things. Even if it's just, I like to live more from my mind than my heart. It makes me feel safe. I don't really want to do love. I get hurt doing love. So I'm not even willing to detach from my more emotionally defensive, self-protective nature. That would require that I connect in with my more emotionally intuitive nature and start taking action, letting love and intuition guide my decisions, getting more balance within myself, and it makes me feel safe and secure to align with my more defensive nature, living more from my mind than my heart, my self-protective nature. And that's why some people aren't going to give up what makes them feel balanced or safe and secure within themselves. So it's like, well, you can keep being manipulated by your mind or your worldly nature, but I'm not manipulated by my mind or my more worldly nature, and I am motivated and inspired by love, and I have tempered some of my fears and insecurities and worldly egoic nature to be balanced within myself. And I could stay in a relationship with you being imprisoned by those things. But then I kind of end up having to be imprisoned by those things because they manipulate you. And those things don't manipulate me. And I want to live my authentic life based on where I'm at and the lessons I've learned. And I want to manifest the things in my life that I think are just and fair. If you think living your life like that is just and fair, and you like living your life that way, you live your life that way. But it's not what I think is just and fair. And I'm going to go explore my options and work with others. Because once we've tempered, basically, high vibe energy knows how to get along with other people authentically. I treat people with love and respect and justice and fairness, love and encouragement. I can create this environment somewhere else. I wanted to create this environment with these different people in my life, but if they're not willing to work with me cooperatively to create a loving, abundant foundation together, or their idea of what they think is just and fair, or being bossy or controlling, or wearing a false mask, or treating me in ways that make me feel left out in the cold. We have different ideas of what we think is just and fair in a relationship. And I'm going to go find the people who operate from the same foundation I do. And as people go through this process, they no longer feel left out in the cold. And they don't want to move forward with people who do, at a core foundational level, are more aligned with their worldly, egoic way of viewing life. You looked at life from a higher perspective. You have hope and faith and belief in your dreams. And then I think there's other people that are going to see people who are living their life like that. They're intuitive that they're people who aren't caught up in the illusion. They're intuitive that there's someone I could move forward with and we're on the same page with. And some of those people will speak their truth and take action to work together with you in that way. And other people won't. And we just see the truth of it. People who are take action in truth and love to be just and fair. They temper their ego. And the people who aren't, you know, like I say, they're either in those relationships with someone else and we see the truth of it, or they're maybe not, have a different view of life and how they want to live life. And they might be trying to get someone else to either indulge them being that way or find someone who's on the same page as them, but it's not you. And some of them know that. For some, you've already spoken your truth to some people, and they know that maybe they don't love and believe in themselves. Maybe they think you are more bold and brave and confident than them. And so until they get over their lack mentality and do this work to temper their fears and insecurities to work with you, you're going to keep moving on. What's coming up for the people who harness a more worldly or shadowy Scorpio energy that they might not see coming up? The High Priestess, the Strength card, the Three of Pentacles, because of the Emperor. If there is some people that are kind of in shadowy energy or manipulative energy, trying to leave people out in the cold, you know, because if some people are in shadowy energy, they don't like people who kind of love and believe in themselves, and they don't want them around. I want you to leave. Because when you're around, I like to view myself as high vibe, but when you're around, it kind of illuminates the truth that I'm not maybe very authentic. I might operate more from my ego. So I just want you to leave. And then, of course, people that are in shadowy energy can be petty, envious, jealous, in their ego. They wanted some of the high vibe people to feel left out in the cold from love. And they thought it was just and fair. If you weren't willing to indulge me in my illusion about myself, well, I want you to feel left out in the cold. I think that's just and fair. I'm not going to do the relationship the way you want. I'm going to reject you. I'm going to leave you out in the cold. And if you won't do things my way, I might try to do everything I can to try to make you feel left out in the cold. Because they view themselves as these just and fair people that people should want to work with. Some of them in shadowy Leo energy. They don't have to be a Leo sun sign. Just people who are full of themselves at a core foundational level. How dare you think that I should have to grow or mature myself? How dare you think that I should have to heal or look at life from a higher perspective? I'm going to do everything I can to make you feel left out in the cold because I think I'm this just and fair person, and the way I view life is just and fair, and I am maybe petty and vengeful, and I think it's just and fair. I'm going to go explore my options. I'm going to go get in relationships with other people just so you do feel left out in the cold. I think it's just and fair. Like they're God or something, you know? I'm the boss. And thinking if they do that because they think they're the boss of other people and they can write other people's life story, that you will feel imprisoned. Well, if you get in a relationship with someone who you thought was just and fair and loving and they act that way, yeah, it's going to take some time for you to heal from that. And you're going to take this time in love to temper your own fears and insecurities and see the truth about some of these people. And you're not going to let these people steal away your dreams. I'm not going to give up my dreams. I'm just going to see the truth about you and give up on you. And I no longer view you as the type of person I used to view you as. And now I no longer feel left out in the cold. And I'm thankful. I say, thank you, Jesus, that person showed me the truth of who they were so I could get out of that relationship. And now I'm feeling balanced and loving and creative and inspired within myself. And now I am ready to take the action to get the justice I deserve in the world. So what they didn't see coming, that some people would listen to their intuition about shadowy, worldly, bossy, controlling people. People who harness these energies in a shadowy way. Shadowy Pisces, Cancer, use their intuition in a shadowy way. Shadowy Leo, shadowy Capricorn, shadowy Aries. They think they're the boss. If they say something's just and fair, you should think it's just and fair. But they try to manipulate people in relationships. They try to control people in relationships because they lack hope and faith and belief and love. And you saw the truth of it. Your intuition, you're harnessing those same energies in a high vibe way. And your intuition told you, don't let these shadowy people get you up in your ego and your competitive nature or your fearful nature. Put in the work and effort in high vibe Capricorn to free yourself from people who are in shadowy Capricorn energy, which is represented by the devil. People who have some lessons to learn about what it means to be a true leader in the world. They might think they're the boss, they're the leader, but they're not the boss and the leader of you. And you're being brave and strong to work and make good decisions in your life and to focus your time, energy, attention on other people in your life who harness these energies in a high vibe way. People who really have grown and matured and truly are good leaders in the world. Not these people who in their ego think people should indulge them like they're the boss, but they don't act with character and integrity. They make decisions that are best for themselves. Not when their decisions affect other people, it's just more about them. Their wants, their needs, their lusts, their greed, their pride, their ego. For the people that you know are shadowy. And they didn't think that you would temper your ego and free yourself and make these good decisions in your life and get in relationships with other people who are on the same page as you. Because some of these people knew that you love them. And again, you could have been a person who really has a hard time detaching from people that you love and have love for. But you saw the truth. Love is to be just and fair. Otherwise, it's an imbalanced, unhealthy kind of love. And you realized it was unhealthy. You worked through your own fears and insecurities to see the truth. It's about truth and love and justice and fairness. And you detached from these people and did this work within yourself to stand up for yourself and what you believe in. Being a good leader in your own life. I'm not going to stay in a relationship with people who are trying to manipulate me or control me or tempt me in my worldly nature. That's not love. And I'm going to go find the people in the world who do want to work with me from a place of love. Another thing the shadowy people might not see coming is there's always bigger fish in the sea. So some of these people like to prey on people. I'm going to use my intuition in a shadowy way. Who seems to feel left out in the cold? Who can I go present myself as loving to? Like, I'm this high vibe person and I'm this just and fair person. Oh, but by the way, I'm not going to change. And if you think your dream's going to come into reality, it's not. It's either this way or no way. There's other people in the world who see people like this in the world. Them harnessing this in a shadowy way. And there's other people that are like, you kind of like to think you're the boss, right? And you're kind of all about your ego and your image and your worldly nature. And you probably want to be in a relationship with someone to make it look like you've moved on and you have justice and balance in the world. I like working with people like you because I can prey on those things about you. So they might end up getting in a relationship with someone who's like themselves, and that is just and fair. Justice is served. Someone might come into their life who's intuitive that these people create an illusion of being loving people, and they're like, perfect, me too. I operate from my more worldly, egoic, defensive nature. I too don't do love. I get hurt doing love. And I have learned to love myself to believe I deserve love. to grow to my full potential. So I wear a false mask too, and I think it's just and fair. I'll present myself as loving to you, like I'm just like you, so that we can move forward in this relationship and do life just like this. But then we might have two people, we basically have two people that are manipulating each other in a relationship. And they're maybe willing to put up with that so long as you're not going anywhere, right? Right. You're not going to make me have to deal with my inner issues, right? Nope, I'm good with them. You're going to keep acting like this when we go out in the world, right? And they're like, yep, perfect. Let's everybody work together looking like we have created this victorious, successful, just fair relationship because we're both fearful, insecure, materialistic, in our ego. Neither one of us wants to grow up and mature ourselves. And we'll just both try to temper our egos about the fact that we're staying in this relationship because of ego or codependency. We had other people in our life who wanted us to grow up and mature ourselves. We weren't willing to do that. So let's go find someone else who doesn't want to heal or grow and mature ourselves and go indulge in whatever we want to indulge in life that we think will make us happy. Whatever those things are, or if it's just about ego and image and money and materialism, let's make our life about that and show the world how wonderful and happy our life is. It's just not based on love. Shadowy Aries energy is about the self. I'm in it for myself, you're in it for yourself. As long as we're willing to work together, because neither one of us wants to step out of our comfort zone. Okay, let's live life. Let's keep living life like this. Let's both stay here because neither one of us wants to look at life from any higher perspective. If we've got the money or the status or the image or we're just in a relationship and you're not going to go anywhere, right? Perfect. I have someone who's not going to go anywhere. My dream relationship. You want to get married just because you want to be married? I want to get married just so I can be married. Perfect. Let's get married. It's just this life of self and ego and indulgence or money and materialism. The high vibe people are moving forward, manifesting their dreams into reality based on truth and love. Creative, inspired, loving, just, fair, balanced relationships. And some people are going to settle for the illusion. So there you go, Scorpio energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.